Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. And today it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Jeff Worley and Roman Glick from Jackyl. We're going to be talking about their new book that's out right now called DAWG EAT DAWG, a rock star's guide to a healthy life while being the life of the party. Plus, they have their current album, Jackyl 25, celebrating 25 years, and that's a huge accomplishment for this band. So, guys, how's it going?
It's going great. That was a mouthful, wasn't it?
It always is.
Sounds pretty coming off your tongue like that, all that
stuff. Well, thanks, guys.
We're doing great, man. We're out here on the road doing our thing in Lakeland, Florida, in the rain, dodging the Atlanta snow.
Yeah, everybody's freaking out over the snow in Atlanta and Georgia. They're like, it's a snowflake. Oh, get off the road. Get your milk and bread.
It's about 6 inches there right now, though.
Yeah, luckily we haven't got any for here in Kentucky. We haven't got nothing.
I wondered where you was calling from, but with that accent, you know mine's bad because I'm from South Carolina, but I knew you had something. I was trying to figure out what it was.
Hey, man, there's nothing like us Southern guys, so you know.
Yeah, you know what? We were talking about that. So we travel so much, it kind of relates to that 25 years on the road. We've been up north and in the snow in Canada in this bus, and a little bit of snow hits down south, people trip out. Up there, that is like just Monday. You know, it's just another day, no big deal.
Same way here in Kentucky, man. I mean, we normally get kind of big snows, but it's like another day. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary. You know, it's just snow. That's it. We just go.
Show must go on. But yes, the book is out on Amazon and available on our website and at shows. So we're excited.
So this is the second book by you, Jeff, and now you brought on Roman for the unique input for this. What made you want to do a book? Was it to give the fans some input of life on the road, or how you guys work out, eat, and all that good stuff, all the weirdness too on the road? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, you know, it's after 25 years, people come up, you know, and ask you, rightfully so, how do you keep doing it? Why do you keep doing it? Well, the why is the easy part. We do pretty good, and it's fun as heck. It's just one of the most fun things in the world to do. It does take you away from home, but we do get days at home and we make the most of it, but we can't waste a second, so you got to be healthy. And we'd never be at 25 if even though we enjoy our cocktail and we have a good time, but, you know, this is a book about balance, and yes, all of those things is what it's about. How we do it, how we keep going, you know, and it didn't. I didn't exclude Jesse and Chris. Us three kind of still do the normal workouts and stuff. Some of us a little bit more intensely than others. But Roman brought on a whole different thing. You know, this book has food and our workouts. It's like a fan book too. It's almost like a tour program, but it's got recipes. We have featured Jesse's bourbon, Mike Ballard from Full Throttle Saloons, moonshines, and all kind of different recipes. So it's a book about balance. You know, we just say work out, work hard, have a good drink, and rock out. You know, that's kind of what it's about. But Roman brought a whole different thing on board.
Yeah, man. And the thing is this is a conglomeration of many, many years in the making, because we've always kind of prided ourselves on cooking our own food out here on the road, whether it be having a grill at Sturgis or just, you know, a crock pot. We've been doing it for so long, and when you have friends when you come through town, they come up on the bus and go, "What is that smell? It smells so good." It's like, we're cooking dinner, man. And so when people get wind of something like that, they laugh. It tickles them to death to think that, you know, here's these rock and roll guys about to go out there and bust a move on stage, but they're in here cooking beans in the front lines of the bus. And it's like, well, yeah, man. I mean, we don't drive around and eat McDonald's every day, for God's sake. You know, we have to, you know, we need nutrition, man. We don't need just filler. So, you know, grown men, we gotta produce yet. So it's a conglomeration of a long period of time, man. And I think it finally, with the success of Jeff's first book, it's really allowed us the platform to continue to go in the direction of putting out some, you know, more content for our fans and things like that. And it gives us an outlet to let people know that, we're human beings out here too, man. We're not just running on
Exactly.
the fumes of alcohol and drugs like most people think. So we have a lot of stuff to say. We still got a long way to go as far as we're concerned.
What's funny too about talking about, we use exclusive. Now we've added extra accoutrements. My brother keeps a smoker under the bus, like Roman said, like at Sturgis or any outdoor shows. We do a lot in the summer. We'll cook out, but also in the book is some food facts that'll turn you on end that you're not going to believe are true. I just love how people's going to go out and read some of the stuff we got in here and go, that's bull crap. You'll find out for yourself, You'll see why we do a lot of our cooking, so we can control whose fingers is in the pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many times did you guys have to go back and take stuff out and add stuff because you're like, no, let's do this, or no, let's do that? I mean,
no, we have our road crew as they'll eat any damn thing. All right? There's always somebody on the bus that'll eat any damn thing. I've never known a crock pot full of it, good or bad. The next morning it looked like somebody licked it clean.
Oh, that's good.
So, but what you're talking about, dude, and also let me spread the love around on this too. Cooper, our bus driver, he'll stop. See, we do shit that no other bands do. We normally wake up in Walmart parking lot. Or sometimes if Jesse's on board, we'll wake up at Cracker Barrel. But most times we like to wake up at Walmart. 2 reasons. One, you can go in and take a poop real quick. And number 2, because you can't do that on a tour bus, you can do it in a $10,000 Winnebago you get used down the road, $1 million tour bus, you can't poop in it. Funniest thing ever. And then we go into Walmart and pick out what we're going to put in the crock pot. Because normally we don't eat until after the show. We'll pick during the day, us 4, but, I got to be through eating at 3 or 4. If we play at 10, I got to cut off the eating about 4 or 5 latest. I think Roman's the same way. My brother, though, can eat a pizza and walk right up behind the drum set and play for 2 hours.
Jeez, I couldn't do it either. There's no way.
But so, yeah, we got recipes. Some of this stuff come down from our grandparents. And, I even explain in the book that crock pot's not what it is. That's the brand name. It's a slow cooker. But my Southern grandma and my mama I never heard them use the word slow cooker. It was all, that's a crock pot.
Same here. That's what I've always heard it as a crock pot.
Well, see, when I started, dude, let me tell you how, you want to hear this. I thought it was a crock pot until I did this book. My wife called him, but she'll call back. In this research, I'd found out, wait a minute, I'm dumber than hell. I've been calling it a crock pot. But you call it what you want, But that's something we've learned. And you think it's one-dimensional, but we've learned that we can do stuff that's not. I do desserts in it. You'll see in the book. Roman's a great cook. Roman's more chef-worthy than cook. I'm a cook. I'll explain the difference in the book, too. They're both great. My grandmother was no chef. She was a cook. She could take an empty refrigerator and make dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back in the day, my grandma, you can see no kind of groceries like we have now. You come up at 6 o'clock, there's a whole spread of stuff. It's a different world, and I go into a little of that. Roman, though, brought other things on board. He does his own chicken duck farm. He's got it going on. He's got a whole conglomeration of natural stuff. So let him tell you about a duck egg.
Yeah, man, a lot of it it ties into our home life too, because everything, it's all relative to us. We exist on the road and we exist at home, and the balance is found in between. So you can't go home and be comfortable. You still have to maintain the integrity of being on the road. So the balance lies in both worlds. So you go home. I've just, over the years, I enjoy my home time. I don't go out. I don't go to bars. I don't go to clubs. I live in them. I don't have to do that when I go home. So when I go home, I like to raise animals, and I got a variation of different kind of chicken eggs and duck eggs and things like that I like to, to feed my family with. And, I have kids. So, it's just teaching them about, raising food and growing your own food. And, I came from that world as a kid. So, I'm just trying to transfer that kind of knowledge onto my kids. And, in this day and age, I think it's something that's lost on a lot of people. I think a lot of people take that stuff for granted, and there's such an entitlement age of people coming up behind us, and I'm not going to allow my children to follow that path. And I want them to learn that you got to earn and work for the good stuff in life, man.
Yeah, it's too much fast food for everybody.
There's so much, in fact, there's a drink Roman created called a Protini, which is an egg-based martini.
Yeah, it's a fizz. It's a fizz. It's actually a very old drink. Like back in the the cocktail days of the 40s and 50s and the Prohibition era. I don't know if that's when it came about, but any kind of like a gin fizz or anything that was called a fizz was based around the shaking of an egg white, and that's what gave it the foam for that beverage. So it adds a little protein as well. So I don't know, some people might not realize that, and I think that's another drink that you don't really see in a lot of sports bars and whatnot these days. So we kind of play off that a little bit, and again, utilizing what we grow and utilizing what we have around.
Redneck classy.
There you go. There you go.
We also have a redneck martini that's instead of vodka or gin, it's Mike Ballard's Sloonshine shaked cold with a dry in a martini glass, but instead of an olive, we use a piece of pickled okra and a boiled peanut.
I'd like to try some of that. I would love to try some of that.
Now, here's something I'm going to tell you that's going to blow your mind, and everybody listening, here's this. While we did a book on drinking and stuff, there's a drinking section. Roman's going on a year of no drinking. So while we were writing a book about drinking, Roman's not drinking. And I mean, stop cold turkey. No, did it like, it just once again blowed me away.
Yeah.
But he don't mind talking about it. That's why I'm going to mention it at every chance, because it's like a badge of freaking honor. Coming where we come from and the things we do to stop cold turkey and then be able to move on. Most people, people stand on a soapbox or get somewhere in their life they can't do something, they try to tell everybody else not to do it. Roman helped me right up in there, helping make drinks for me to try while we're writing a book about drinking and working out and cooking.
Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment, Roman, for sure, man, because just to stop cold turkey like that, man, that's pretty damn awesome.
Well, it kind of plays into the whole theory of balance, because, you have to stay in balance, and I've found myself over the years, the balance was tilting in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? And it's just something about, you got to maintain that center or things get out of whack, and that affects everything, man. So, I don't expect to be acknowledged about it. It's just something that I have to do every once in a while, man. You got to kind of check yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you, man. The only kind of checking that you get for yourself is when people sit in the back and they talk about you when you're not around, and I don't like that, man. I'd rather be right up in the forefront. So I don't, if I got an issue, man, I'll just keep it in check right there, and then we still got a war to fight, so let's keep going.
I'm going to say one thing that I put across in here, even in the days when we partied more than we should and everything, we get our butts up with the worst hangovers you can imagine and go to the gym.
Yeah.
It ain't like we lay up. I get up and do cardio because you'll see I've got a way to get rid of all the water in your body. To me, the body is a fish tank. It's dirty. You don't clean a fish tank. It's dirty water. You got to get it out and replace it. And I do it on a daily basis. So, there's some of the ways in here and we make a disclaimer saying, whatever you do, don't do none of this in this book.
Yeah.
This is what we do, okay? But we're telling you not to do it because you can't really, because it takes, like Roman said, years of training. So it's more kind of you can, but we're not saying that, I'm saying it's some hardcore stuff that people, every day, no matter how far we travel, we get up and go work out, as bad as it feels. But then afterwards, glad you did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we got a show to do.
What was the most difficult thing about putting this book together, if anything, guys?
I don't think there's any part that's really difficult. I think when you're in the middle of it and you're putting together your brainstorming, I think the most difficult part is how to contain what we essentially want to do and not have it watered down with too much stuff.
Yeah.
Because we have tons of ideas for different things, and at some point you got to say, no, we're just going to focus on this, let's just focus on this, because, man, we could go out in left field. I mean, have we even gotten into the alien stuff and all that? I mean, we'll get silly with stuff. I mean, if you've spent any time around any of us for a period, you know that, we take things tongue-in-cheek, pretty much everything, man. So we'll have many more books come out. I feel pretty confident about that. But right now, we were just wanting to focus on what we're, the recipes and the drinks and.
Right, we get into a lot of we'll get into some stuff, but then I like people to go like we did and learn your own thing. So I like to, in my book and in this parts of Dog Eat Dog, me particular, I like to get people curious as hell and then stop and leave them hanging so they can't sleep at night. You got to go home and find out, is he telling me the truth and how much more goes with it, right? But, we are fascinated by aliens so much. In fact, in this book, our tequila that we're featuring is called Alien Tequila and Fubar Tequila, and it's by George Harris, this entrepreneur guy, and Fubar is Dick Marchenko, who is the Navy SEAL, started SEAL Team 6, Rogue Warrior, so they're buddies of ours, and they have a tequila plantation and make their own. It's brilliant. So that and all of Mike Ballard's, and we're not only in drinks too. I've used it, I'd use Jesse's spiced bourbon in baked apples in a crock pot.
And there's some tequila in some of the crock pot beans, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Roman's got your chicken has tequila in it.
Yeah.
That's why it's called tequila chicken, right?
Yeah.
No, it's called drunken Mexican.
Drunken Mexican.
Yeah.
So what is both of your guys' favorite recipe or meal that you have out on the road right now that's in the book?
That we make on the bus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cooper's meat.
Yeah, Cooper's meat pretty much does it.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's our bus driver's. He made that for us. I can't say enough about him. Sometimes we don't even ask. I'll just wake up back here at 7 in the morning after riding all night, and you'll smell you'll smell something. He's stopped at Walmart, went in, packed it full of whatever. I mean, he makes up, but he does this thing with, it's a rib, is it roast beef?
It's just a beef roast.
He packs I'm not sure what all he puts in it. It's in the book, and he gets it going slow and puts these spices, and then the last thing he does is he pours a jar of peppers over it, like the banana peppers cut. Cooper, what's them peppers you put in that meat? Pepperoncinis. He pours that over the top and then lets it go, and damn. I don't even eat it on nothing. He makes sandwiches for everybody, but I just eat it out of a bowl.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah,
plus it digests, too.
Listen, man, I mean, all silliness aside, if you sit down and make some of these recipes when you get this book, it'll blow your mind how, I mean, it's real stuff. I mean, we're not just sitting around here, cracking up about things. We got some real food in there, man, and it's enjoyable, man. And it's fun to make stuff. If you have no cooking bone or you don't have any skills, this stuff is easy to do, and you can teach it to your kids, and you can feed your family, and it's good stuff, man. So I mean, I encourage people to do it for no other reason than just to broaden your menu.
Same with the workouts. So you'll see how we do it on the road. It's not easy. If we can travel 700 miles an hour, play a show, and work out, that's another thing I'm trying to get across.
No excuses.
No excuses. That's right.
All right, I want to focus on Jackyl 25, the album, just for a couple minutes, and then we'll get back to the book here.
All right.
Jeff, Did you and your brother formed Jackyl 25 years ago, of course, but did you ever imagine Jackyl being around this long?
Well, actually, I drew that logo I drew in the 9th grade, so it kind of started there. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, I'm not trying to be boastful, but I've been having my head down. I've always, hell, I thought we'd be bigger. No, I'm playing. Like, there's that tongue-in-cheek again. No, dude, I will not go wake up a day and say I regret anything. But yes, we just knew, man. It wasn't nothing. I never not thought nothing else about it. That's the whole thing, And then when you start seeing, even from my No Filter book up through this, like Roman says, more stuff coming, you'll see how, after all these years, it kind of made sense, It was just kind of me and my brother's calling to do this. And it fits my personality. I mean, I've been married for 25 years. Everything fits. Our families are set up for it. It ain't like we just started doing it or anything. Pretty much our existence is set up to do it. Me and my brothers, we have a great support system. And, we wasn't going to give up. God dang. Exactly. We don't give up.
Exactly. I've been a fan of Jackyl ever since I first heard Lumberjack. And then started buying the other albums, and I've been following you guys ever since, album to album to album, and it's just fucking great music, man, from all you guys.
Well, thanks, dude. And it's, and once again, like Roman said, no excuses. There's bands I thought were great that give up because for 1 minute they can't play the thousands of people as you go. A career in the music business is up and down. Entertainment is up and down. When you get it down, you got to ride that out. All the big boys has done it. Aerosmith, you'll see everybody that's remained had a minute, and you had to claw back up and keep going. So, it's like
it's war, man.
Exactly, and we're fighting for war. We train for life. That's what.
Now, do you guys do anything differently during your writing and recording process, to help keep your minds open and not let everything get stale?
Yeah, nothing ever gets stale.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the thing is, too, there's never really a set way of anything being done. I mean, it's always different. Songs come about in a different way each record. I mean, it's not like we sit down and, okay, here's what we're going to do. There's nothing sterile like that, man. It's just like most of the time it's like Jesse goes, hey, I got this idea. Come down here. Well, you come down to the studio to work on the song, that idea that Jesse's got, and you end up spitting out about 15 songs because that's how his brain works.
Yeah.
It's just like blah blah blah. You just gotta just grab the reins and hold on.
It starts to roll. Like for instance, I'll say this is when I know something's getting ready to come. He'll walk on stage and at a point in the night, and then he'll start singing something we've never heard before.
Yeah, there you go.
And there you know that we're getting ready to do something. We just don't press it, man. We go, and of course, he's got the lead singer. He's got to sing that. That's why I've never, outside of some songs that you relate to, he's got to write the lyrics to that stuff. We're all partners, So whatever we've just learned over the years, like AC/DC did, like Aerosmith did, you got to get into that groove of how this thing works. It's just like a marriage. I can't put it no more than that,
Now, we're in the digital era of recording albums and social media. Do you guys like this that we're in right now, to get albums out quicker, and plus social media where you can reach out to more fans and gain more fans?
I think there's good and bad about all of it. I like it. I think it's changed. It's kind of changed the way you do things, though, man. I don't know if it's watered down what people do. I mean, I believe there's a good and bad to it, man. But for us personally, man, we have our fan base is hardcore Jackyl fan base. I mean, we don't rely on a lot of radio and things like that to keep our name in people's thoughts. Our fans are right there with us anyway, and now they're bringing their kids to our shows, they're bringing their grandkids to our shows. So I mean, we have a pretty hardcore fan base. So the social media helps us just stay in contact with them. It's just like staying in contact with your aunts and uncles. You don't see them all the time, but you still stay in touch with them, and they still want to know what you're doing. So we're just fortunate to have such a hardcore fan base that we just kind of keep everybody abreast of what's going on. And then we're coming to your town this time, and we're having our family reunion, and then we tear it up and we go away, and we'll see you next year. See y'all next year.
Right, exactly.
And I mean, it's just
y'all come back.
Yeah, man. We've utilized it in a great way, but if you're a Jackyl fan or you're not, and if you're not and you come to a show, then you're a Jackyl fan.
Exactly.
And we'll see you next time.
The only people I've known that ever didn't like us never saw us.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I agree with
Unless
that.
you're an absolute creep that has no life.
Yeah, if you ever come on the bus and hang out with us, you can say, I hate your music, but man, you guys are killing.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about my side of the social media. I never had a Facebook or nothing, mainly because my wife wouldn't let me, not because of any kind of females or anything like that, only because, my sense of humor, I have to reel it back in when outside of some walls, because it's,
people don't know how to take it.
It's real unpolitically incorrect, because I grew up watching Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Those are my heroes. My grandmother's strict Southern Baptist used to tell my mom, it wasn't, don't let Jeff play music. It was, don't let Jeff and Chris watch that old Dean Martin, smoking on TV and things. So I come from that kind of sense of humor. But now I'm going to be on Facebook, not by myself, but my writing team and my writing partner, Alex Macios, who has helped do both of these books. Because we're also write screenplays, and we got a movie in Los Angeles now. We're getting ready in March to take a big story about my grandfather. There's a lot more coming out on our side, as far as me and my brother's lives. And so I'm going to hit it, but I'm going to make a big disclaimer or some kind of speech or manifesto saying, I might answer one or two Jackyl questions, but this is for something else, because, we pretty much cover it, and people can get it's not that I can't take an insult, but if you can dish something out to me, get ready to be prepared back to it, you know?
Right.
So that's why I've kind of stood clear, you know, when somebody writes in, every now and then there'll be somebody, you guys suck, and I just want, where's his damn address at, right? And I shouldn't address it, but I want to know who you are this house. I'm not a big Justin Bieber fan, right? I couldn't point him out, or his music, but not a day if I thought, you know what, this morning I'm going to get up and write Justin Bieber and tell him he sucks. I don't get it. If you don't like us, why are you even saying it? Something has rubbed you the wrong way. Yes. Yeah. I want to know how we rub you by not doing what we do, because I have, you know, that intrigues me, so that I have to watch out for.
You know, I had posted about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame had a fan vote. Well, Judas Priest got knocked out by Bon Jovi of a fan vote. Oh, buddy. Oh. I put on there that, you know, hey, Judas Priest fans, you need to stand up, get them in there. Boy, here comes everybody down the pipeline, give me hell about it. I'm like, when did y'all become journalists? I just posted about fans need to stand up for Judas Priest if they're fans, you know?
Yeah, see, therein lies the negative side of the social media thing, because now everybody feels like they have a forum to speak from, and it's like somebody told these people that their opinion matters, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's hard. There again, there's the new form of what you have to find a balance in, man. You have to not get so into these chat rooms or whatever you're in. Man, you just got to ignore people, man. A lot of these are just kids that are out there trying to get you a rise out of you. So it's just like, I just keep my mouth shut, and I stay away from Facebook too, man. I don't have a Facebook page. I bowed out of that, man. People didn't like what I had to say.
I just like to say as a fan of your guys' music and everything that you guys do, thank you as a fan, first and foremost.
Well, thank you, man. It means a lot.
You know, Jim Neighbors died last week.
Sure did. Yep.
Yeah, and you just did Jim Neighbors, right?
Or the thank you.
Thank you.
It's gonna be odd watching the Indianapolis 500 and not see him on there singing. What song did he sing? I can't remember. But
you know, that's my brother. I hope my brother's getting it if you can hear me, because I collect lunch boxes, like the old 50s and 60s. And a Gomer Pyle lunchbox is one of the most desirable. They made 2 of them in the 60s. Yeah, if you get one with him on it, because during the middle 60s, they started finding out, you know, his sexual orientation. That wasn't a good time for that to come out. So one of the lunchboxes had way more of him on it, right? Mm-hmm. And then they had to re-release it really quick with more of Sergeant Carter and just the barracks and all that on it. So if you can catch one of the other ones, what sold for $5 and $3 in 1965 is like $300 now.
Good Lord, that's awesome.
See how that has nothing to do with what we were talking about?
That's all right, brother. Hey, this is all good fun with me. I love finding stuff out like that. I got some of the old Dukes of Hazzard stuff. I wonder how much that shit is.
You got a Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox?
I think maybe somewhere. I don't know how great a condition it is, but yeah.
You know, look at the condition, and you got to make sure you got the thermos.
Yeah, I do have that with it. I do remember.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I got an original G.I. Joe Arctic set where he had the 66 with G.I. Joe not out of the pack, and he's got his tent, and it's where G.I. Joe was attacked by the abominable snowman and Bigfoot, which is another thing we can talk about.
Oh God, yeah, Bigfoot. Yeah, I like researching cryptozoology. Man alive.
Bigfoot's up in your area.
Yes, exactly.
He's up in your area.
That's exactly right. And you don't know how many claims that they are, and some of the stuff, man, that these people are talking about and has actually showed me, kind of got me believing, yeah, it's out there possibly.
But you got to believe her. What did you see? What did you see that swayed you?
Just the odd looking footprints, modes, and just some of the claims is just really out there. I used to have a paranormal team too. I used to do stuff like that too, a long time ago. Yeah, love it. I absolutely love it. Eat it up.
You're only just light years away from aliens. I was being on the road 25 years, and I've read and researched all that Roswell stuff, and always been intrigued with it, and watched the movie thing. And for 15 years, I tried to go to Roswell, but you go on tour. We'd be in there. You just don't go to Roswell. It's like 150 miles off the beaten path of any city you'd be playing, right?
Yeah.
But a few years back, I jumped on the bus and Jesse said, "Happy birthday." We were somewhere in Texas. I said, "Happy birthday. My birthday's in May." This was like August. He goes, "Nope, today is." And he didn't even know it. But we had a day off. We drove to Roswell. The first thing you notice when you go into Roswell is it says, "Welcome to Roswell, birthplace of John Denver." Now that throws you off.
What?
Yes. That's a clue. It's true right there. All the government could think about was putting John Denver in Roswell. Then we got there, and it was the actual day it happened, and it was the parade. And we pulled into town with thousands of people with tinfoil on their head. And Adrian Barbeau. Yeah, Adrian Barbeau from the 70s was down at the car lot doing autographs, and everybody from the History and Discovery Channel was there. It was hilarious. It was awesome, though.
That's awesome.
And that crazy dude from the History Channel with the wacky hair, I think he was there, too.
Yeah, he was sitting behind the desk. You could ask him all kinds of questions.
It's aliens.
It looks like the heat.
Everything that they put on there is aliens. Forks and spoons, aliens. Eggs, aliens. No, it ain't.
And remember the actor from the 80s that was in the... Only thing I can remember him from is he played the Warlock in a Warlock series of movies. His name's Adrian Sands.
You
remember him?
I don't recall.
If you've seen him from movies, he's like the head alien guy. He's like the House Speaker.
I did not know that. See, I didn't know that. That's wow.
See, and then we left there, and then like a day later, we find ourselves riding through the White Sands Missile Range, and all of that, and going through them checkpoints, and that's where you really see weird stuff. Roswell ain't got nothing on White Sands.
Jesus, man, that's crazy. There you go. Y'all need to write a book about stuff like that out on the road. There you go.
Well, have you got my first book?
Not yet. I'm going to pick them up. That's what I've been doing. I've been picking up books.
Okay, my first book, No Filter, is exactly, you'll get it. I gave more alien stories in there. One, if you think that blows your mind, part 2 of that alien story, all that is the stories that we're telling you. And it kind of goes with that 25. It's things that happened. It's not an autobiography. It's just little funny stories of things that happened to me or I was involved in from a viewpoint over 25 years on being in a band, you know.
Guys, how can folks stay in touch with you all, buy some merchandise, buy these books, and Jackyl 25? How can they do that in tour dates? How can they do that?
Jackyl.com, Jackyl Facebook.
Jackyl Instagram.
Yep. And the books are on Amazon. You can type in my name, Romans, Jackyl, No Filter. It'll take you to them. And we have the merchandise page on the Jackyl.com website. It's got everything you could ever want. Jackyl Christmas stuff. We got new Yetis, cups and stuff, and blazing with Jackyl dog heads and logos.
Tons of Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
People, get out there and get your online shopping done today.
Before I let you guys go, would both of you care to do a promo for the show?
What is it? What I say? Hey, this is Roman Glick and Jeff Worley from Jackyl, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Now you're the golden.